Shalom. This week's Haftara for the parasha of Beshallach, which we read the Shirah of Az Yashir after the Jewish people, the Israelites, were miraculously led out of the land of Egypt and actually back into the land of Egypt if you look at the maps. And the men of the Great Assembly picked a Haftarah that had a thematic similarity, thematic connection. And they picked the Shirah of Devorah, the Song of Deborah. Deborah, a prophetess, lived hundreds of years before the building of the Beit HaMikdash and after Joshua conquered and settled the land of Israel. In those days, the Shoftim, which she was one, or the judges, were not only judicial judges, but they were also militaristic judges. They would lead their nation into war. Devorah, B, translated as a B, was married, and in order to maintain her modesty when speaking with people, she would sit under the palm trees out in the open. She wouldn't meet with people inside a tent, so that there would never be any question of her integrity as far as modesty as a married woman. She was married to a man named Barak, and Devorah has a prophecy, and it explains that the Jewish people's time for being punished is over, and that they will rise up again against the Canaanites. And she calls her husband and says, "Let's go to war. You go to war." And he says, "No, not without you." And she says, "That will come at a price. Because if you don't lead them, the nation, into war, then the victory will go to the hands of a woman. We'll see." He agrees to take her along with 10,000 men, and they are greatly outnumbered by the king of the Canaanites, Yavin. He had a general, Sisera, and Sisera, they had 900 chariots, 900 tanks, just like it was in the Six-Day War, the way that we were outnumbered. And God creates a fantastic miracle that while these men in chariots were coming down from the top of the hill to attack us while we were in the Jezreel Valley, the Israel Valley, what happens is that a rainstorm comes, and all the wheels that are rolling in the chariots, that they get stuck in the mud. And the Israelite soldiers were able to attack and kill all these men. Now, this army was led by Sisera, a coward, who ran for his life. And there was a tribe of the Kenites that were surrounding this area, and he ran off into the Kenite camp, and a woman named Yael was watching to see what was going on, and she told him, "Come, you can hide in my tent, you can hide in my tent." This married woman understood what she had to do. Sisera tells her, "Please, I'm thirsty. Please give me something to drink. Give me some water." Well, what she does is she gives him some warm milk, which puts him to sleep. And then she took a nail, a spike, for the tent that was holding the tent down, and she, after he fell asleep, she nailed him in his head, through the side of his head with this spike, and killed him. Moments later, Barak comes, and when looking for Sisera, and Yael opens the door to the tent, and she shows Barak that it was actually her that killed Sisera, the general of the army of the Canaanites. It's a bittersweet ending that the mother of this general Sisera was waiting for her son to come home, and the lesson that she is taught is just like the mothers of the children of the Jews that waited for their children to come home from war, that Sisera attacked the Israelites. Now you too understand the feeling, what it means for your son not to come home from a war. Shabbat Shalom.